Now we are continuing that last class we discussed about fixed costs, variable costs, and semi-variable costs. And I told you that semi-variable costs they won't stay for a long period of time. The fixed portion will go to fixed costs, and the variable portion will go to variable costs. Like that I told you. Now we are going for the next basis, that is controllability. When we go for controllability, some costs we can control and some costs we cannot control. So we have to see what type of costs we can control and what type of costs we cannot control. That is uncontrollable. Costs are classified on consideration whether they are capable of control or not. The concept of control of cost is related to special level of managerial authority and with reference to special level, specified level. Okay, when we want to control the costs, okay, it is completely the management cadre they will look after. Managerial authority and with reference to specified level, up to what extent we can control and up to what extent we cannot be in a position to control. That thing is nothing but the duty of a managerial authority, management authority. The term controllable refers to costs which can be influenced by the action of the executive in an undertaking and is capable of control. It is the executive. It is the decision of the executive. It is the work of the executive to control the costs. Okay, it is not the duty of some other persons. It is the duty of the executive who is doing this. Okay, that's what he is telling. The term controllable refers to costs which can be influenced by the action of the executive in an undertaking and is capable of control. On the other hand, costs which cannot be influenced by the action of a specified member of an undertaking and is beyond control is known as uncontrollable costs. Okay, so when we go for this, we'll say that okay, up to this extent I can do, and beyond that I cannot able to do. It means that the action of that person is up to that level only. In the same way, whenever you take an executive in an undertaking, how far he can control, how far he can reduce, how far he can control, that cost will call them as controllable costs, and beyond his limit, beyond his level, or whatever it may be, the cost that we come across, we will call them as uncontrollable costs. Okay, this is the thing. Next, what are the examples? Fixed expenses like salaries, rent, insurance, and taxes. The examples are okay, fixed expenses like salary, rent, insurance, and taxes. These are all nothing but the examples for controllable and uncontrollable costs. Now we are going for the next step, that is as capital and revenue. Next basis of classification as capital and revenue. Capital cost is that cost which is incurred in purchasing some asset for the purpose of increasing the earning capacity of the concern. When you are purchasing an asset, okay, which is useful in the production process or in the organization, then that cost is known as capital cost. That's what he is telling. Capital cost is that cost which is incurred in purchasing some asset for the purpose of increasing the earning capacity. When we want to increase the earning capacity, when we think that we have to purchase an asset, capital asset, then it is nothing but a capital cost. And whenever you come across regular this thing, we'll call that thing as revenue cost. Okay, for capital cost, what is the example? The cost of rolling machine in a steel plant. The cost of rolling machine in a steel plant is nothing but a capital cost. That is, you have to purchase the rolling cost. When you purchase the rolling cost, you won't get for 10 rupees or 5 rupees. It will be heavy. So that amount will call that thing as capital cost. Now coming to revenue cost. What is this revenue cost? Revenue cost is one which is incurred to maintain revenue earning capacity of the business. Okay, to maintain revenue income. Okay, income remain earning capacity of the business. That is nothing but revenue cost. Example, cost of maintaining assets, cost of running business. These are the various examples that we come across for revenue costs. Okay, now next one is, next basis is by normality. Okay, you will come across normal cost and abnormal cost in by two types, normal cost and abnormal cost. There are two types of costs, normal cost and abnormal cost. What are normal costs? It is a cost which is normally incurred at a given level of output in the conditions in which that level of output is normally attained. Whatever it may be the level of production that we will think, up to that extent, whatever it may be the expenses that we come across, we'll take that as normal cost. Okay, that's what he's telling. It is a cost which is normally incurred at a given level of output in the conditions in which that level of output is normally attained. Now, abnormal cost. Okay, after that level of production, whatever it may be the cost that we come across, we'll have to take that as abnormal cost. Okay, normally this thing we can do, and beyond that, whatever it may be, it is nothing but abnormal. Okay, in this contest, simple thing. Okay, you can able to take four chapatis. Okay, you will go for four chapatis. You will purchase or you will spend money for four chapatis only. Suppose if you take eight chapatis, that is the level of consumption. The level of consumption it is crossing. Okay, yeah. For purchasing of four extra chapatis, it is nothing but an abnormal cost. Normal cost is purchasing four chapatis and consuming them. That is enough. That is nothing but the level of consumption. And when you go thinking I can do that, I can eat that, I can consume like that, whatever it may be, it is mere waste. It is mere waste. If you go for eight consumption of eight chapatis, tomorrow you will be in the washroom. So, whatever it may be, the level of consumption you have to think, and up to that extent, whatever it may be, the expenditure that you make, it is nothing but normal cost. Beyond that, whatever it may be, it is nothing but abnormal cost. So, when you go for an organization, they have to see up to what level I can produce. Okay, up to what level I can produce, and up to what expenditure I can incur, that thing he has to take it account. Beyond that, whatever it may be, it is nothing but an abnormal cost. It is a cost which is not normally incurred at a given level of output in the condition in which that level of output is normally attained. It is a cost which is not normally incurred. Generally, we won't come across all these things. And whenever you come across, we have to take that as a abnormal cost. At a given level of output in the condition in which that level of output is normally attained. Normal cost is part of cost of production, whereas abnormal cost is excluded from cost of production. See the peculiarity how he is giving. Normal cost is part of the cost of production because he is doing that. He is spending money. So it is nothing but part of cost of production. But abnormal cost is completely excluded from the cost of production because it is over and above. It is over and above the level of output. So like this you'll come across. And the next one is by time. By time. What is this? On the basis of time, costs are of two types: historical costs and predetermined costs. Historical costs and predetermined costs. What are historical costs? Historical costs, it means the settlement of costs after they have been incurred. They will have only historical values. After you are spending after you are spending money, then whatever it may be the cost that you come across, it is nothing but historical cost. Because the cost was over, the production of that unit was completed. So whatever it may be the expenditure that you are spending, it is related and it is termed as historical cost. Just opposite to historical cost, you will come across predetermined cost. What is predetermined cost? Before incurring the cost, when you come across the expenditure, when you think in advance the expenditure, that is nothing but predetermined cost. These are estimated costs. They are computed in advance of production on the basis of actual cost and the factors affecting the cost. They are made on a more or less scientific basis, result in a standard cost. Here comes the main picture. Okay, here comes the main picture. That is, we have to think about a standard cost. Okay, and whatever it may be, the cost that you are estimating well in advance, that is nothing but predetermined cost. Before incurring, before spending, whatever it may be the expenditure that you will take as an estimate. That's why they are also known as estimated costs. Well in advance, when you estimate, that is nothing but the predetermined cost. And one important thing that we will come across is the erasing of standard cost. Why we have to take into account the standard cost? In order to compare the actual cost with standard costs and see what are the differences and what are the variations, we have to take into account the predetermined costs. Okay, these are estimated costs. They are computed in advance of production on the basis of actual cost and the factors affecting the cost. Whatever it may be, the actual cost that you come across in previous years, you have to take that as a base. And basing on that, you have to go for estimates. You have to go for, thinking of well in advance what are the costs that we have to come, that we will come across. They are made on a more or less scientific basis, result in a standard cost. They are compared with actual costs so as to find out the differences. These are analyzed so as to enable management to take remedial actions. That is, whenever you come across standard cost, you have to compare the actual cost with that of standard and see whether you are coming across any differences or variations. So whenever you come across any deviations or variations, whatever it may be, it is the duty of the management to go for remedial actions. What remedial actions we have to take? Because we kept a standard cost basing upon the actual costs incurred in previous years. So when we keep a standard cost, we have to go and we have to check the actual cost and we have to compare. Thereby, whatever it may be the deviations and whatever it may be the differences that we come across, we have to identify them and we have to see the remedial actions not to get the variations or differences. This is about predetermined costs. And next basis is the next basis is for making managerial decisions. For making managerial decisions. So, what are the things that we come across when we want to go for managerial decisions? What are the different types of costs? Okay, we are coming across eight types, Amma. We are coming across eight types. They are marginal cost. They are marginal costs. Next, out of pocket costs. Out of pocket costs. Differential costs. Imputed costs. Sunk costs. SUNK. Sunk costs. Opportunity costs. Replacement costs. And avoidable and unavoidable costs. These are the various types that we come across. Once again, I'm reading marginal costs, out of pocket costs, differential costs, imputed costs, sunk costs, opportunity costs, replacement costs, avoidable and unavoidable costs. These are the eight types of costs that we will come across when we go for managerial decision. Okay, managers they have to take decision when they come across this type of cost. Opportunity cost, sunk cost, replacement cost, marginal cost, differential cost, all these things they will influence the management because in these places only you will come across the problematic portion. When they come across the problematic portion, the management they have to take a suitable decision. Suitable decision. So the remaining portion, that is whatever what they are in detail, we are going to study tomorrow. Okay, fine. Thank you.